The throne room reeked of smoke and scorched metal. Laura collapsed against a crystalline pillar, her obsidian scales cracked and weeping luminescent blood. The dragon empress of the Andromeda territories had ruled for 3 centuries, crushing rebellions and annexing star systems with the casual cruelty of her kind. Now, betrayed by her own court of talons, she lay dying in the ruins of her palace. "Stay back," she hissed, her voice still carrying the resonance of ancient power despite her wounds. Her golden eyes fixed on the figure approaching through the smoke, a human in a battered military exosuit, moving with the careful gait of someone who had seen too many battlefields. Jonathan stopped 3 meters away, his helmet retracting to reveal a scarred face weathered by years of combat. He was older than most human soldiers, gray threading through his dark hair. The insignia on his armor marked him as a veteran of the Terran Expeditionary Forces, one of the few units that had survived the Dragon Wars. "Your Majesty," he said quietly, setting down his plasma rifle, "I'm not here to fight." Laura's laugh came out as a wheeze, blood bubbling at her lips. "You're not worthy to touch me, human veteran. Your kind are insects, mayflies. You live and die in the span of a single thought." She tried to push herself upright but fell back with a groan. "Leave me to die with dignity." Jonathan didn't move closer, but he didn't leave either. He unsealed a medical pack from his belt, the universal symbol glowing green on its surface. "The rebel dragons have left. Your court scattered when they realized you'd been poisoned by Counselor Vex. The palace is empty except for us. Then kill me and be done with it," Laura spat. "Take your revenge for Earth, for Mars, for all the human colonies my fleets burned." "I lost my daughter on Proxima Station," Jonathan said, his voice flat. "She was 7. Your dragons came through and left nothing but ash." He opened the medical pack, pulling out a regenerative injector designed for draconic physiology, expensive, rare, and extremely illegal for humans to possess. "I have every reason to let you bleed out." Laura's eyes widened, tracking the injector. "Then why?" "Because 3 months ago, you issued the clemency decree," Jonathan said, finally taking a step closer. "You banned the targeting of civilian populations. You court-martialed Admiral Crix for burning the refugee ships at Titan's Gate. You changed the rules of engagement." "Propaganda," Laura whispered, but her gaze wouldn't leave the injector. "Political necessity." "Maybe." Jonathan knelt beside her, still keeping just out of reach. "Or maybe you figured out what we humans learned a long time ago, that there's no glory in butchering children, that power without restraint isn't strength, it's just cruelty." Laura tried to summon fire to her claws, but only sparks flickered and died. The poison in her veins was military grade, designed specifically to neutralize draconic regeneration. "You think one decree absolves me? I've burned worlds, human. I've watched your colonies die from orbit. I am exactly what your species believes me to be, a monster." "Probably," Jonathan agreed. He set the injector down between them, just beyond her reach. "But monsters don't usually try to change. My daughter's gone. Nothing brings her back. But there are millions of other children out there, human, dragon, and everything in between. The clemency decree saves them." Laura stared at the injector, then at Jonathan. "Why would you save someone who ordered your daughter's death?" "I didn't say I was saving you." Jonathan stood, picking up his rifle. "I'm giving you a choice. You can reach that injector if you try. It'll stabilize you long enough for medical teams to arrive. Or you can lie there and let the poison finish its work." He walked toward the shattered archway leading out of the throne room. "I spent 20 years fighting dragons. I'm tired of killing. What you do next is up to you." "Human," Laura's voice cracked with desperation. "You can't just... Jonathan!" He paused at the doorway, looking back. The Dragon Empress, terror of 100 worlds, was dragging herself across the blood-slicked floor toward the injector, with the last of her strength. Her pride warred with survival, centuries of supremacy colliding with the fundamental will to live. "If I survive this," she gasped, "if I take your mercy, what then?" "Then you keep being better than you were," Jonathan said. "You enforce the clemency decree. You court-martial the dragons who still burn colonies. You prove that power can be wielded with wisdom instead of just fear." He adjusted his rifle strap. "Or don't. Die here and let Vex and the others restart the genocide. Either way, I've made my choice." Laura's claws closed around the injector. The regenerative compound flooded her system, fighting back the poison, knitting scales and sealing wounds. The pain made her roar, but she held on, injecting the full dose. When she could breathe again, when her vision cleared, Jonathan was gone. Only the medical pack remained and a small data chip beside it. Laura picked it up with trembling claws, accessing its contents. Files. Thousands of them. Records of human veterans like Jonathan, soldiers who had lost everything to the Dragon Wars but were now advocating for peace. Medical personnel who treated wounded dragons, diplomats working to establish détente, engineers helping rebuild mixed-species colonies, and one video file marked with Jonathan's military ID. Laura played it. "Your Majesty," Jonathan's recorded voice said, "humans have a saying. Be the change you want to see. We're trying. We're not worthy to touch you, not because we're beneath you, but because worthiness isn't about species or power. It's about choices. Today, you made one. Tomorrow, make another. Keep making them until the war finally ends." The video closed. Laura sat in her ruined throne room, alive when she should have been dead, holding proof that the insects, the mayflies, were capable of more mercy than she had shown in 3 centuries of reign. She activated her emergency beacon. When her loyal guards arrived, she would have orders for them. New orders. Better orders. The Dragon Empress stood, scales still bleeding but healing, and for the first time in 300 years, she felt something she had thought lost to her forever. She felt hope. End.